The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Deontay Wilder's comments that Deontay Wilder's comments that Tyson Fury should step aside and allow him to fight Andy Ruiz and become undisputed champion, and then resume their second bout. What are your thoughts on that, Trill?
I didn't even think that it was inked yet. The fight with Tyson Fury.
No, it is.
It's inked?
Bob Arum says, no, they already got the contract.
Oh, well, if they already signed the contract, you know how I feel about contract. You know what I'm saying?
Why you look at me when you say you know what I mean about contract?
You know what I'm saying? But listen, I kind of feel Wilder on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? I mean, if he'll take some money to step aside, you know what I'm saying? Take a little payday to step aside, like Tyson Fury for fight Alexander Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? And he can fight the winner out of Joshua Ruiz. And then take those belts, and then he can fight the last lineal champion with the new lineal champion. Hey, listen, I'm not in a disagreement with Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm not in disagreement with Tyson Fury. Shit, honor your contract if you have to honor it. But if you can, pay him some bread and do it the other way, I would got no quarrels with that.
G?
Man, listen here. Tyson Fury is going to agree to what Wilder said. He's not going to take no step aside. He's going to be like, you know what? Blessings, yo. Go handle that. Why? It's a win-win for all parties. You know what I'm saying? If Deontay Wilder, like, let's just say Andy or AJ, whoever wins, right? Deontay Wilder fights them for the unification. If Deontay Wilder wins, he has all the belts. Then he fights Tyson Fury. That means PBC's happy, ESPN's happy.
So you agree with me?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a win-win. Like, I don't see Tyson Fury going like, nah, yo, on your contract. Tyson Fury's gonna be like, oh, word? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real.
And you get some bread.
Thank you. I honestly believe Tyson Fury will let that rock without even no bread, no step aside money.
You're gonna definitely get some bread.
Hey, yo.
You gotta give him some bread.
True, but what I'm saying is, I could see Tyson Fury agreeing to that just off rip, like, yeah, that makes sense. Word, I don't have to fight, and I can actually be unified because Tyson. If Tyson truly believes he's gonna beat Wilder, right? Strategically, he'd be like, yeah, Wilder, get all the belts for me, so I can beat you, and then be the unified champion, legit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do like what you're saying, like, because this makes sense. Yo, fight Povetkin. Povetkin just beat your cousin. You could sell that, like, I gotta hold it down for the Furies out here. Beat this dude Povetkin. Come on, he's 40, man. He ain't holding it down like he used to. Beat Povetkin. Wait for Deontay Wilder to fight either Ruiz or AJ. Then have that mega unification, and then voila, you can walk away. You know what I'm saying? So I think if I was Tyson Fury's team, I would strongly consider this option. I would go with the option. I don't even think it makes sense for them to be like, let's just fight Wilder. You know what I mean? Because it's not even a guarantee that, let's say they win, they'll get a fight with AJ or Ruiz. Wilder and Ruiz on PBC fighters, so most likely it can happen. And not to mention, I think even at this point, Eddie Hearn wants the Wilder fight because he probably wants to cash out. He's like, I'm not going to take no more chances. Let's just get this fight between AJ and Wilder. So these things are now going to happen. I'm telling you, 2020 is Wilder's year. Believe it. You know what I'm saying?
That's cute. But all that hinges upon the assumption that Tyson Fury believes Deontay Wilder can beat Andy Ruiz, or that he can beat Anthony Joshua. So you have to look at it like this. Tyson Fury, for one, would have to get step-aside money because he's stepping aside to allow Wilder to make big-time money fighting Andy Ruiz if he steps aside. Money that Tyson Fury's not going to see. Then Wilder gets all the belts and gains leverage against him for the rematch and the split. So you're basically
asking,
well, that's assuming that they're going to keep the same contract, right? But he would be asking him to step aside and let him break the contract, right? Which is why he would be getting step aside money, because he's allowing him to break their contract, right? And then take another fight. And then Wilder, if he wins, is going to return to the negotiating table like, I'm undisputed champion. I just made this money, so I should get 60-40 or whatever. So once again, you have Tyson Fury giving up leverage to help Wilder. I just don't see it. Another thing is, what if Wilder loses to Ruiz? Then Tyson Fury's out of title shots. Ruiz is undisputed champion. You think Ruiz is going to give Tyson Fury a shot for the undisputed title? Hell no. So at least not immediately. So now his fight with Deontay Wilder loses luster, because it's like, okay, this is a rematch, but Wilder just lost to Ruiz and he doesn't even have a WBC title anymore, right? So that's something else you got to think about. And here's the other thing you're not thinking about. Wilder said Fury should step aside and let him fight Ruiz. He never said or Joshua, right? He said Ruiz.
No. He did say that he also wants to. He said, no, it's just like it came out last week. He was like, yo, Joshua, let's just set this up. He literally just, it was
See
like
what
a
I'm saying? He said,
week.
let's just set this up. But when he said he should step aside and let me fight Ruiz, he could have said or Joshua.
I thought that's what I said when I was talking. I said the fight either Ruiz or Joshua the winner. I thought
he never said the winner.
Oh, I thought
he just said Ruiz.
He probably assuming that Ruiz is going to win.
He said, hey, Joshua, let's make this happen. But let's be clear, he said that before, for years, and never even attempted to make the fight. Even when he was offered $140 million, he's never attempted to make the fight. So respectfully, him saying, hey, Joshua, let's make this happen, that's just something that he's been saying for years. He's never shown the desire to actually make it happen. But what he did show subconsciously is he said, step aside and let me fight Ruiz. But if he wanted the winner of that fight, he would have said, step aside and let me fight the winner of Ruiz Joshua.
No, but that he's assuming that Ruiz is
That's
going
what
to win.
people, once again, you're not Deontay Wilder, you're not in his mind. I'm taking his comments to mean, because I take people on what they say. I'm a firm believer of you say what you mean. Like he said Ruiz, he never said Joshua. So let's say Joshua goes in there and knocks Ruiz out in the first round. I don't think Deontay Wilder's going to take that fight. I think he goes right back. Because, man, he had the chance to fight Joshua for $140 million. One fight with Brazil, and then to fight Joshua 2 fights, and he turned it down. And people can act like they're in his head while they're on his team, but the fact remains that's big time money that he still doesn't stand to make. He lost his opportunity to make that money. He made a bad deal. Now, I'm a firm believer.
I know he's kicking himself in his butt.
Exactly. I'm a firm believer of you got to go on the ring and do it. I can't give Deontay Wilder credit for something that Andy Ruiz did, because I don't know if Deontay Wilder gets back up in that third round like Andy Ruiz did. Let's not forget how Joshua lost. He lost going for the kill after he dropped him first. It wasn't like Ruiz hurt him first and dropped him all those times. People forget. I don't know that Deontay Wilder gets up from that. I've never seen him do it. So I can't just give him credit for something Ruiz has done. So going back to what I'm saying, there's the assumption that Wilder wants to fight Joshua if he beats Ruiz again, which I can't make that assumption because he didn't say it from his own mouth. He said, step aside, let me fight Ruiz, not the winner of Joshua Ruiz. So let's say Joshua wins. Is Wilder still going to take that fight? Yes. And then let's say Wilder takes that fight, and he's going to make big time money from that fight, and Tyson Fury's going to make nothing, and you think he's not going to want step aside money?
No. I'm
not arguing. Not only is he
step
going to want step aside money, he's
aside.
going to want like big time step aside money.
Alright, now, because honestly now I think about it, I don't even think it's even possible, because I forgot Pulev, who is the mandatory that he's already been waiting for a while. I don't think they're gonna allow another extension. So whoever wins against AJ Ruiz, they have to fight Pulev next. So I don't even see.
They'll
Unless
give
they
an extension for those fights. They'll give an extension.
They already gave him an extension. You think they're gonna give him another one?
You know how long? I know one guy who's been waiting.
Yeah, don't say nothing. We ain't talking about. No, he wasn't the mandatory for the longest. He just been waiting. He been waiting for the longest.
Pulev is not.
And he
He's not mandatory like that.
He ain't gonna contest like that.
Yeah.
Give him 250.
He's not, because
that's what it is.
would you rather have your shot when you could be undisputed, or just win one?
Nah, you're right.
He's not.
But
But my thing is this.
no, I think this is where I think me and G got mixed up with the question, because we thought what the question was well, I thought the question was, I'm not gonna speak for you. I thought the question was, Wilder was saying the winner of that fight between Joshua and Ruiz, you know what I'm saying? If he can get that fight, he wants Tyson to step away. You know what I'm saying? Now, I said that's tricky because I believe that would be good, and I believe that would be bad. Now, I want to know what your take as far as, do you think Tyson will step aside, or he'll be like, no, I don't want no step aside? Like, what do you think?
Like I said, I think Tyson will step aside if he got good step aside. I think that's the only way. And probably pre-negotiate 50-50. Because if he steps aside, let's say he just agrees to step aside like G was saying. And Wilder goes, because he's agreeing to let him break the contract that they already have, right? So I'll rip that up. Wilder goes and makes, what, like, good money, 50 million maybe, 50 million plus, to fight Ruiz or Joshua, becomes undisputed champion. Now he comes back to the negotiating table. I've already made 50 million, whatever pay-per-view buys that does, and I'm undisputed champion. There's no more 50-50, right? Right? So what security do you have that Wilder's gonna come back to the negotiating table humble?
Alright, because that's what you do. You can step aside though and have a contract already in place. If in fact you win,
that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
have
agree
to
with you.
give him step aside money and agree to 50-50 ahead of time, and then I think Fury would do it. That's what my dispute was. So you're saying that he would just step aside, and I say no.
I already said I was bugging
because like then he loses so much leverage. Like his leverage is the contract and the obligation, and he needs to make sure that the enhancements that Wilder can potentially get won't hurt him when it comes time for them to fight. But also he has to be confident that Wilder's going to win. That's what I'm saying to you too.
What do you think the split is now? I kind of think the split is 60-40 Wilder.
I think it's 50-50.
You think it's 50-50?
The previous fight was 50-50.
Okay.
So I think I don't see Wilder doing the percentage game with Fury.
That's why 60-40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
60-40.
You saw this? Hold on.
Yeah, I think it was 60-40.
I got it on my list.
I know Wilder got the lion's share.
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Wilder got the lion's share. But where I'm coming from is, so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is Fury has to be confident that Wilder is going to win those fights. Because if he's not and Wilder loses, then he loses his shot at the titles. So like Fury in turn has to become Wilder's biggest fan in those fights, right? Because if Wilder loses, then he loses everything. It's a huge gamble, which is another reason why I don't think he takes that risk without some compensation.
Oh, you have it. Alright.
Yeah, no.
Oh, we got it.
It wasn't 50-50?
No, it wasn't
60-40.
I don't know what it was, but I know it wasn't 50-50.
Wilder
Because
got
one
the
time I was
lion's
making an
share.
argument with you, and I was like, yeah, I pulled up all the 50-50s. Wilder Fury wasn't missing.
Wilder got the lion's share.
So set?
Yeah, I'm all set. I don't know if
Nah, but I would just in closing, I do believe that the reason why he said Andy Ruiz is because again, he's in PBC. You know, obviously, politically he has to say Ruiz is gonna win. So I think that's why he brought up Ruiz as opposed to the winner of Ruiz Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
Would it make sense only if Wilder's going to win? You have to be confident Wilder's going to win, and you have to be confident that when you negotiate the 50-50 still going to be there, so you have to pre-negotiate that. And of course, the step aside money has to be good for Tyson Fury.
But do you think, like, if you was Tyson Fury, right, who you think will win? Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder?
Like you guys said.
Honestly, if I was Fury, I would think Wilder's going to beat Ruiz. You know what I'm
You
saying?
would have thought that Joshua was going to beat Ruiz too.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you said, you alluded to earlier, it's the heavyweight division. One punch changes everything in the heavyweight division.
But don't you think the end game for Fury is to walk away as wealthy as possible with all the belts.
And I think he can do that with the step aside. I think he will make double money.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
Tyson Fury's always a name, and everybody's still gonna always call out Tyson Fury's name.
Well, how about this? Tyson Fury fights Wilder, still makes money. He doesn't need to step aside. Takes the WBC, then he makes that big time money to fight Ruiz. And that's my point. I just don't. There's so many scenarios that in play. I'm just not sure it's to Tyson Fury's benefit to step aside and let someone else.
Yeah, because you know, we seen Deontay Wilder, to his credit, he dropped Tyson Fury down 3 times, but this isn't Tyson Fury who was out of the sport
2 times officially.
2 times officially. He was out of the sport for a while. Now this is Tyson Fury who's been active. He's lost weight. He's in better shape. Now this is a totally different Tyson Fury. He might feel like, listen, I can take your belt and then, like you said, and fight one of these champions.
Which is what I would expect Tyson Fury to feel like. The Tyson Fury that I
Yeah, but the problem is, let's just say, if AJ beats Ruiz, I don't see the AJ Fury fight happening because it's going to be a war between DAZN and ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
that too. But I believe that they can split it, and I believe they have a great relationship. I was seeing them hugging in the ring yesterday.
I think it'd be so easy for them to get a 50-50 at that point. I think that fight's gonna be easy to make because one person's shown that he has the guts to go anywhere and fight, and that he's willing to work.
It won't happen right away though.
What I'm talking about is the networks will now be involved, and that would be the issue. Yeah, because I can see them, the fighters going like, yeah, we can make this a 50-50, but the zone's gonna be like, nah, we need the rights to that fight, or ESPN's like, nah, we need the rights to that fight, and that's gonna cause a lot of like back and forth negotiations where it will extend it too long. You know what I'm saying?
They both will have the rights to the streaming for their streaming platforms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that fight won't happen right away, but it can happen.
If Lennox Tyson happened, you remember with Showtime HBO, they'll make that happen. At that point, they'll make that happen. It'll be the biggest heavyweight fight since Lennox Tyson.
But did you hear that interview where Bob was like, Showtime and HBO, they were childish when it came to business? I was like, man. But he's saying that ESPN and Fox, they know what they're doing. But I don't know, the zone may think like a Showtime.
Bro, make that fight happen. There's too much money now to make that fight happen. Tyson Fury of all fighters, to me, earns the respect of he'll fight anywhere.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying ESPN needs a return on their investment. The zone needs a return on their investment.
That fight's the return on your investment, bro.
No. It's only a return if you get the rights to the fight. That's what I'm saying. Who gets the rights to that fight?
Bro, they'll work it out. Yeah, they'll work it out.
Let's split it. I think
They'll work it out. Like even
like
say,
Floyd and Manny, they played it on both stations. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and it's not just that. Like you really want subscribers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like
That's what they're fighting over.
Yeah, they really want subscribers, right? But if it's on ESPN, for example, they can do heavy DAZN promotion during the fight. All you need is people to see it and be aware, right? And if it's on DAZN, you do heavy ESPN Plus promotion. That's all you need. Like every fight, subscribe to DAZN. It's on ESPN, and they're gonna be saying subscribe to DAZN. Put the app up. All you need is exposure, bro. That's it. So yeah, they'll make it happen, bro. Cause they'll get more subscribers making it happen than they would not making it happen, regardless of which platforms.
I don't like those apps anyway. Please like and subscribe.
I don't like ESPN Plus app, so I feel you.
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's the Boxing Bros.